So, issue 2 of the Dynamite Ben 10 comic has now been released. There's a lot to dive into with this issue, so let's begin. Issue 2 starts with Gwen in the rust bucket, and she finds a hidden computer panel inside the RV. So we're already getting plumber stuff, evidently. This is a huge contrast from the previous Ben 10 animated series, where they waited until the final episode to mention the plumbers. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded if they waited a little bit longer to reveal the plumbers in this series, but comic book pacing is so much different from television, and this series is aimed at older readers, so it's kind of nice to just let's move on a little bit quicker so we can get to the more exciting stuff faster. Also, Gwen took off her camping gear from issue 1, so we get to see her in her cat shirt in the start of this issue. Then we go to the Heatblast scene we saw on the preview pages. It ends with Ben turning back to normal. However, he flashes through most of his alien forms when transforming into human form this time around. It reminds me a little bit of all of the mutation sequences throughout the franchise. And also when the Omnitrix was set to randomizer mode in the season 1 finale. And yeah, it looks pretty painful, so when Ben finally reverts back to human form, he's just crying, and he wants to go home. Poor kid. This version of Ben really didn't get to do anything wrong. He's just being punished for no reason. It's a tragedy. Now, this issue showcases a lot more of Max and Colonel Rozum in general. A lot of it is spent around them talking to each other. And there's also a lot of setup for Ben's fight with Kraab in the next issue. But yeah, it feels like they slowed down the pacing a lot compared to issue 1, and I'm glad about that. I think this is a good issue. I think if in the future you're reading this comic book series for the trade paperbacks, it's going to be a satisfying little story. And I'm still having fun as an issue-to-issue reader as well, and I'm excited to keep going. To move things along more quickly, basically what happens is that Max stumbles upon Rozum's military camp, and the soldiers see that he has clearance after they scan his fingerprints. So more plumber hints there. Kraab travels to Earth through a transit bubble, which I believe is a brand new concept to the Ben 10 universe, multiverse, omniverse. And yeah, he acts exactly like how he did in Hunted. It was very easy to read Kraab with the Billy West voice for the character. One of the first things he says was, "What a pathetic backward rock." And I honestly had to double check to see if he said that in Hunted or not. He did not. But in Hunted, he does say,
"What a pathetic excuse for prey."
So Kraab really likes making these exclamations, it seems. I'm glad to have classic Kraab back. And then we cut to the other scene in the preview pages of Ben transforming into Cannonbolt to get away from the military troopers. We cut back to Max and Rozum talking with each other, but their conversation is interrupted when Rozum gets a report about Kraab. And then we see Kraab brutally murdering the military members, showing the most blood we've ever gotten in Ben 10. And the issue ends with Gwen seeing Cannonbolt and trying to run him over with the rust bucket. Overall, I really liked this issue. I liked it a lot more than issue 1, to be honest. I think the artwork is a lot stronger than issue 1 as well. I'm still getting used to Robert Carey's art style, but from what we see in issue 2, I like it for the most part. I think I still would prefer to get a new Ben 10 series that with a more cartoony art style. It doesn't have to look exactly like any of the shows, but, you know, I never really cared for realistic looking comic book art. My favorite Batman comics tend to be the ones that look the most like animation. But yeah, it's fine. I don't really mind it. But yeah, those are my thoughts on issue 2 of the Dynamite Ben 10 comic series. Later this week, I might try to get another video out about the preview pages for issue 3, but that's gonna have to wait until another day. That's all I have to say for this video. Bye everyone.